What's worse than a dead baby in a dumpster? A dead baby in two dumpsters. What's up, weirdos? Scott here. Thanks again for visiting the channel. As always, I appreciate it. Do me a favor, follow me on Instagram. It's let's do it up. Sorry, let's underscore do it up on Instagram. LETS underscore DOITUP on Instagram. I have to leave more of a pause so that you don't think I'm telling you to pee on Instagram. If you want to send a knife or knives into the channel for review, just send me an email at letsdiu79@gmail.com. letsdiu79@gmail.com. Just send me an email. I'll send you my knife or my shipping address. You can send me the knife or knives. I will spend a week or two with them, review them, and send them back to you. I want to do a quick video today about on a knife that I've had for quite a while, but I've never shown it on my channel. I've never even really handled it all that much. It's kind of a disappointing situation, but it was my own fault. I'll get into that in just a minute, but first, there has been some questioning about my sticker. Somebody said, what are, or I can't remember if it said what is bud drug, but I believe the correct statement would be what is butt drugs, and butt drugs is a pharmacy. I'm sorry, it used to be a pharmacy, and that's why I want to talk about it. Butt drugs is a pharmacy in Indiana. I can't remember exactly what city they live in, but a guy back in like the 20s or 30s started this kind of drugstore, soda shop type thing, and they built it up from there into a pharmacy. The grandfather, the man that started it, handed it down to his son, and his son handed it down to his daughter, who owns it to this day. So she grew up in this shop. She grew up learning how to count change and how to stock shelves and stuff like that. So this was her whole life. So when she took it over from her father, she kind of started making these stickers and t-shirts, hats, all kinds of different merchandise that you can buy, because the name of the pharmacy was Butt Drugs, and she just thought it was a cute, cheeky thing to say to sell these little stickers and other memorabilia, which is awesome. I think it's great. The whole town loved her. The whole town loved the drugstore. You know, it was a really coveted place in the community. But in the last 10 years or so, the insurance companies and everything, the way they charge for medication, you know, the business of medicine, I don't know if you guys know, but it really pisses me off, that statement. Insurance companies, when they started buying up hospitals and everything, and being able to charge whatever they want for drugs, or pay whatever they want for drugs, they've started reimbursing less and less and less over the last 10 years. And this store's had some trouble because they were basically sending out medications with people for a loss. But the young lady that owns it, she figured it out. She made it work for the last 10 years or so. She's done some creative things. They've still got a soda shop. They've got a gift store there. All kinds of advertising, little funny commercials that they make based off the name of the drugstore, and it was great. Everybody loved it, and she was able to make it work. But then I guess a couple of years ago, maybe 3-4 years ago, she started getting a lot of flack from people. I'm so sick and tired of this woke bullshit. I'm over it. I'm fucking over it. So she started getting some flack, I guess, from people here and there. She didn't really blame the customers that were giving her trouble because of the name of the store, because it was off color and offensive and this, that, and the other. But I think when that happened, it kind of just turned her off of it. She just was over it. She didn't want to do it anymore. So she ended up closing the store, the doors to the pharmacy permanently. Which is really disappointing for her. I believe she obviously still does have the merchandise and everything for sale. I am going to link her site down in the description. Please support this young lady. I don't know what she's doing to support herself now, but I'm sure these decals and stuff, the other merchandise that they have, are part of that. So again, please support these people. They've been kind of shit on a little bit, I feel like, and it sucks. So I just wanted to get that out there. But I'll show you the knife. I'm sorry. I know it's taken me, what, like 5 or 10 minutes to tell this story. I apologize. But this is the ARCANE design, which is the only ARCANE design that I own. This is the ARCANE design crawler. I was really excited about this knife. It was a little small for my hand, but I was hoping the way the milling was done and everything, the way it looked, I was hoping I would like it, and I do. I absolutely love it. So why don't I play around with it very often? We'll get to that in just a minute. So this is the ARCANE crawler, version 2, I believe. 6AL4V titanium, M390 steel, or Dama steel. I got the M390 steel version, obviously. And mine is just raw titanium with kind of like a bronze or a gold inlay. You got the signature here on the card. And I don't know if his website is on the card or not. It doesn't look like it, but if you just look up ARCANE design, I'll show you the card again so you can get the name right if you want. If you just look up ARCANE design, they've got a lot of really unique designs. I believe the gentleman's name is oh gosh, it escapes me right now, but the gentleman has a really cool design language, aggressive looking knives, really cool futuristic looking knives, and I really enjoy them. I just, when I kind of started getting into these, I also started being able to afford Microtechs and Hinders and stuff like that, so I really haven't bought any more, but I'm really glad that I have this one. And it's absolutely beautiful, in my opinion. I like the whole raw titanium kind of cement looking finish on the entire knife. I don't necessarily like that with bigger knives. Just because, like, you know, I'm not one of those guys that's ever going to have an XM24 with a titanium scale on it. I'm just never going to do that. I don't want the knife to be that heavy. I know it's not that huge of a deal. I don't think it's that big of a difference in weight, but I prefer just a little bit of a lighter knife, so I'm never going to put a titanium scale on my Hinder or XM24. I may or may not put one on my 18, but I doubt it. So anyway, but I don't mind this look on a little bit smaller knives, just because, yeah, they're heavy, but they're not so over cumbersome that it's ridiculous. But yeah, this is an absolutely gorgeous knife. You see that I took the pocket clip off, which I usually do with knives that are not titanium. I take them off of the titanium knives just to see how I feel without them. And then I'm pretty sure that I lost the pocket clip to this guy, so that's why it's not back on there yet. It's just a really aggressive looking, beautiful knife in my opinion. But if you want to see why I can't carry it, or don't carry it, I was flicking it open and closed the day I got it. And the very tip of it kind of just knocked on the edge of my living room table next to my chair, which is just soft wood. It's not that big of a deal, but this is a very cute tip. As you can see, the area that broke off is not extremely sizable. But just that small impact on soft wood was enough to break this tip. I don't think that was enough. I don't think that was a problem with the blade steel. I don't think it was a problem with the design language or the way that it was carried out. I just think, you know, the way this knife is designed, the nature of the beast, you're going to have a weaker tip. And if you hit it just right, it's going to fall off. And that's what happened to me. So I do love this knife a lot. I wish I could carry it and use it more often. I guess I just don't touch it because I'm so disappointed by the fact that I can't carry it. So if there's anybody out there that sees this and they are capable of making changes or altering this knife in any way to make it so that this would work for me and refinishing it for me and making it look professional, please reach out to me. I have my Instagram and my email at the beginning of this video in case you somehow hop into the middle of it. But yeah, if you're capable of fixing this, please do so. I absolutely love this knife. I'm just disappointed I can't carry it because I'm an idiot and I broke the fucking tip off. But I'm going to give you the measurements as best I can on this knife. Looks like the tip's going to fall right about there. I could tell you the exact measurements, but I don't feel like looking it up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it looks like between 7.75 and 8 inches overall, with a 3.5 inch blade, and I'm going to say a 3.25 inch cutting edge, maybe a little less than 3.5 on the entire blade length there, depending on where you're looking. It's got a nice flat grind here, and then you've got a nice flat that carries out to about 70% the length of the blade. A nice opening hole here, which is chamfered very, very nicely. Those edges are knocked down. A beautiful swedge here, and then all the way down to bring it to a nice Wharncliffe tip. Which is awesome, but again, I'm missing the tip part. A little bit of slightly aggressive jimping. It's not super sharp or scratchy or anything like that. It's very knocked down, it's very smooth, but they are, as you can see, rather large jimps. The way they ground the blade is absolutely beautiful here. I really love the way this blade looks. I'm not sure what's happening on this side. I haven't looked at this knife in months and months and months. There's a little emblem here from the crawler. That's their little emblem that they put on here just for this particular knife. I think they change it up on every knife. And then you've got the Arcane design emblem right here, which I think is just really fucking cool. Obviously this guy is running on bearings. Very, very smooth knife, nice action. Love this action. Sometimes I don't hit the flick just right, but it's very easy to reverse flick. It's very easy to thumb flick, and it's very easy to use the flipper tab. The flipper tab has a little bit of jimping on it, but it's not super, super aggressive. I kind of do wish that it kind of came up and around this bend here just a little bit. I don't know why I like that, I just do. And then obviously the flipper tab here is ground just a little bit to shoulder it for that stop pin right there. As you can see when it's opened, well, before I open it, I can show you the quite aggressive shouldering that blade has there. So it kind of just reaches up and kind of wraps around that lock pin and then locks into place when the lock bar moves into position. We do have a steel lock bar insert in here, but that does not have an over travel stop integrated on it because the inlays here are also titanium, and those act as the over travel stop for this knife. I will say that I've noticed that there is no blade play in this guy, left, right, up, or down. It's completely solid, but once you release the blade, there is a little bit of play, and that does happen from time to time, just to design the way the knife works. If it doesn't affect the way that it sits inside the scales or outside when it's locked out, then that is not a serious problem, as long as it's not affecting any of that. If it's a little bit, just a tiny bit, little bit loose in the just unengaged position, no detent, no lock, no nothing, that is not a huge deal in my opinion, just in case you're ever looking at something like this. We have titanium scales here, obviously, which I do believe are milled out quite nicely. Yeah, I don't know if I can show you that yet or not, but the show side is milled out quite a bit. The lock side, not so much. That's probably just because of the way they had to mill the relief in here for the lock bar. We are locking up, looks like at about 45-50%. That's not terrible. Make sure it's centered. Very, very smooth back down into the handle. Let me hear that detent again. Let me hear that detent again. Yeah, that's a nice little click there. I love that. That's great. Lock bar's easy to move to the side, pretty good access. They don't give you any milling on this side to give you any extra access, but it is nicely scalloped in there, so you can fit your thumb in there relatively easily, even though me having a very large hand. This knife, the only reason I was nervous about this knife is because it's borderline too small for my hand. There's no forward finger choil here for you to choke up on, so all I have is what the handle affords me, which is fine. You can see I don't come out the back, it doesn't come out the back of my hand at all, but I do have a good 4-finger grip on this guy just because of the way they have this pinky area milled. It's very, very comfortable to hold that way. Normally if my pinky's almost hanging off the edge of a knife, it does not feel comfortable or secure to me, but this definitely does. So I think he did a very good job of making this a relatively compact knife, but making it a lot of knife at the same time. I think he did a great job with that. The finish for me is what does it for this knife. I love the fact that the entire knife is the same finish. I just think that's wonderful. I love the way he knocked down the edges here. I love the angles and the hard angles that he used on this blade. It makes it very nice to look at. Just very aesthetically pleasing, and it's fun to fidget with, actually, believe it or not, with having such a small handle. I'm still confident in flicking this open and playing with it. And I forgot to show you that shouldering on the tang of the blade there. So as you can see, you got quite a bit of shouldering here, so you've got a lot of surface pressure there. So yeah, it locks up really well. The action is fantastic. You can see it's very smooth back down into the handle. It's a lot of fun to play with, and it's a lot of fun to just look at. There's nothing really flashy going on with it. It's just a very interesting looking object, in my opinion. I'm sorry, I'll get you guys some size comparisons and a weight and blade stock thickness and all that other bullshit. Sorry guys, I kind of got caught up in the moment there. So, compared to the Rat Model 1, this guy's going to be a little bit smaller, I believe. Yeah. So the Rat 1 obviously is going to be larger than the Crawler, and the Rat 2 obviously is going to be a little bit smaller than the Crawler. Smaller than the Crawler. I'm a poet and I didn't even know it. Next up is going to be the Ritter Hogue ARCANE P1G2, Doug Ritter's version of the Benchmade Griptilian. Love this knife. And the 80-20.5, which is going to be slightly smaller than the Crawler. Smaller than the Crawler. That's going to be stuck in my head for the rest of the fucking day. And obviously the Ritter Hogue is going to be just a little bit longer than the Crawler. Next up, last but certainly not least, we have the SPYDERCO Paramilitary 2. That's going to be slightly longer than the Crawler. And I'm not going to say it again, don't worry. The Para 3 obviously is going to be nowhere near as large as the Crawler. Carry profile compared to the Paramilitary. Why do I always say that? Compared to the Para 3. Let's see here. Okay, yeah, so this is much thicker than the Paramilitary 3 at the head of the scale. So just keep that in mind. I don't think this is a huge problem going into the pocket, but other people may disagree. And at the tallest point of this knife, obviously, which is going to be this entire kind of flat here, but mostly at the apex there. Let's see here if I can show you that. Okay, yeah. Still not quite as tall as the Para 3. So that's not too bad in the pocket either. The weight on this guy, where did I put my scale? There she blows. Hey, I even turned her on already. That's awesome. Okay, so this guy, I believe, is like 4.9 ounces without the pocket clip. I believe it was 5 ounces with the pocket clip. Yeah, so that's pretty good. Not too heavy. Let's get a blade stock thickness on her. Can I get a thickness? Sorry, guys. I can't help myself. Oops, sorry. We're zeroed out there. Let's see. 156. I'm going to say probably closer to 155 thousandths. But yeah, that's a decent thick blade. Decently thick blade. But not, like I said, this is kind of like a bruiser of a knife, but not huge. And I appreciate that. I do. It's going for, kind of both aesthetics at the same time. And I think he just did a really good job in translating that and executing it, really. Is there anything else to show you guys? I don't know if there is. So there wasn't one other thing that I wanted to talk about, but I didn't want to drag this on for a half an hour, 45 minutes. So I'm going to go to I'm going to record another video, and I'm going to upload it on this channel. But I'm also going to upload it on my other channel because that's where it belongs. I just don't have any subscribers over there yet. But I want somebody to see it. Somebody, everybody, I want to see this. So I'll let you guys know when that uploads. If you would be so kind as to take a look, listen to what I have to say, give it more than 5 minutes, and give me your thoughts in the comments. I'd really appreciate that. But that's going to be it for this guy today. Stay up, y'all. Take it easy. Bye.